one of the biggest questions or misconceptions that we hear a lot, especially from people who are either newly diagnosed with a bone and joint challenge or people who are really, really injury prone or just coming to us at the beginning, is, I'm still young, I shouldn't be having these types of issues. I've taken care of myself my whole life, I shouldn't have osteoporosis or osteopenia or degenerative joint disease or worn out knees or that kind of stuff. And so one of the things that we talk to our members a lot about is just kind of the life cycle of bone in general and the life cycle of how our bones and joints and muscles and ligaments and tendons work. And one thing that just repeatedly surprises people is the fact that we actually reach peak bone mass, meaning we have the best and the healthiest bones we are probably ever going to have at about the age of 25 to 30. So prior to the age of 25 to 30, we're in kind of a continuous growth phase in our life. And that's growth in all aspects, whether it's growing taller, brain development, or bone and joint development. And so we're really good and really efficient at building new tissues and getting rid of old tissues, so that remodeling phase is just continuously going on and on. But at about the age of 25 to 30 years old, that starts to slow down, and at about the age of 30, we're pretty well done, and we've reached what we call peak bone mass. So wherever you're at an age of about 25 to 30 is as good as it's going to get. So that's why it's so important when you're younger, and especially our kids now, for you to be building up that kind of bone bank, if you will. So important for us to take care of ourselves and be physically active and getting proper nutrition and doing high impact and heavy strength training and weight training and that kind of stuff when we're younger, because wherever you're at the age of 30 is as good as it's going to get. From about the age of 30 to 50, so about a 15, 20, 25 year range for women, we hope to maintain. So hopefully our lifestyle and our daily choices help us maintain that peak bone mass. And then when women hit menopause, or around the age of 60 to 65 for men, but when women hit menopause, we start to see a pretty sharp decrease in bone density. And the reason for that is because it's kind of twofold. Typically, we start to slow down lifestyle-wise, so we're not nearly as active. But then the other thing that happens is our hormone starts to decline. So when you have that combination, we reach peak bone mass at about the age of 30. Hopefully we kind of level off for about a couple of decades, and then we're going to start to see a sharp decline. So I'm going to go ahead, and in the comments, there's a graph that really helps to visualize that. So that's one thing that really surprises people, and it really kind of starts to answer that question of, so the sooner we start to take care of ourselves and the sooner we start to maintain that strength in all aspects, the better off we're going to be the older we get. And the answer to that is yeah. But that's why as we are kind of going through the next handful of generations, and we're becoming a little bit more sedentary, less physically active, most of our kids, and especially 20, 30 somethings don't have the best diet. There's a lot of soda, a lot of energy drinks being consumed, and that kind of stuff. We're starting to see people having bone density and strength issues at a much younger age, and that's also why diagnoses like osteopenia and osteoporosis are really on the rise in both men and women.